It is indeed Just Here for the Beer Radio, broadcasting to the masses on TSN 1040, tsn1040.ca, also at 103.5 FM HD2. It's Joe Leary and Rick Mohabir, Just Here for the Beer, at JHFTB on social media, justhereforthebeer.com, where you can go to our archives and listen to previous episodes of our show. And, this is a two first-timer episode today.
Yes.
Because we've two first-timers.
Yeah.
Let's welcome Kristie Isaac, who is the head brewer of North Paw in Port Coquitlam. And, Kristie, nice to have you on the show. How's your first time going so far?
Excellent.
You ready for a shot of Jaeger?
How many doubles have you had, girl? Come on now.
So the thing is, you're a first-timer with a recurring guest sponsor, which is North Paw. But you're also a recent grad from KPU.
Yeah, my alma mater.
So we have had a number of people on this show, and it's amazing when you do the backstory on people in brew. A lot of them came from homebrew, but a lot of them came from KPU.
I've come from both.
You've come from both.
I have.
So it speaks volumes about the quality of the KPU program.
I can't say more about it.
Yeah.
It's been an amazing experience, and it's offered me amazing opportunities.
Head brewer of North Paw, but not a newbie to North Paw. You've been in the picture for a while, I understand.
I have. I've assisted their head brewer in the past. I was a part of doing some of their pilot brews for some seasonal favorites, and used their pilot system. That was my go-to and my contribution.
So what got you into, what turned you on to beer initially? To be, first of all, a home brewer. Why make your own back when you did? What was the deciding factor? Just weren't happy with what was in the stores and on taps?
I think it started with sort of a rebellious attitude because I could. I started way back in university.
Oh, wow.
And it was a great way to create something and have beer.
Yeah.
So.
And how adventurous was your beer of choice to start? Were you just trying to replicate what was already on tap somewhere, or were you trying to
I think that was
branch
the
out?
ideal goal, is to create something that was equally good to spending your money elsewhere.
Yes, right. And I think that's the story that a lot of people have. And I think it stemmed from, if you backdate it, probably just a dissatisfaction with a lot of the
what was on the market.
That was
exactly.
on the market,
and then again, being a student, you're kind of looking at your financial situation. And can I do it a little better and a little bit less expensive?
Yeah. It's true.
So I see in my household, my dad got into making wine. And again, I think wine's a bit more of an art form than some other things to make. But I mean, homebrew has done remarkable things. But let me ask you, Kristie, when you get the title, when you ascend to the throne of head brewer of an established brewer, and I guess we can call North Paw established now.
Established,
It's been around a couple of years.
Yep.
Is it like getting your hands on your family car for the first time? You want to take it up for a spin, or you kind of have to go slow and steady and make sure you check the mirrors and make sure you turn your signals on, or do you go a little nuts?
Well, Dad told you not to go through any drive-thrus, but you did anyway.
Right.
You did anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So what then when you take over that mantle? What do you want to put your own touch on things? Like, do you kind of change the hop profile a little bit on an established beer, or do you just kind of make sure that the staples stay as is?
Well, yeah, the opportunity came for us to start rebrewing some of North Paw's favorites, and Courtney's been incredibly supportive of us maybe changing some of the profiles and allowing me to put my spin on it and maybe use a more modern flavor profile, what people are really looking for in the craft flavor profile. So we've changed some hops, not to change the beer entirely, but to maybe give it a more modern spin or a different spin to keep people interested. And we'll continue to do that. It's fun for a brewer to be able to keep reinventing a product, keeping in mind that you want to stay within the profile, and but being able to expose people to, let's say, a new hop or take an old classic like a West Coast IPA and switch it up a little bit to keep those palates interested.
So does North Paw still do the Jamaican Pale Ale?
They do. It's one of my favorites.
So that was, I mean, when we first met Courtney way back when, and you knew him prior, but when we first met him, that to me was a standout beer.
That's right. And again, very different and very distinct flavors in that profile, which you haven't really seen anywhere else with the Star Anise and some of the other really interesting and intense flavors in there. But, and again, getting back to this, now you get to kind of open up your little cookbook, playbook,
It's
and,
true.
and start to mess with things a little bit.
The Jamaican Pale Ale, I'll say though, I've left it alone. That's the one I take home at the end of the day. I really enjoyed it. It's a standout, awesome recipe, and it's my honor to brew it time and time again and make sure it's the same every time.
I think it's their one of their signature gold star. You don't mess with this.
If I took over McDonald's, I ain't making a chicken Big Mac. Okay, I'm leaving the Big Mac alone. But Kristie Isaac is head brewer of North Paw in Port Coquitlam, just here for the Beer Radio from the Taphouse on North Road in Coquitlam. So I want to ask you, obviously you have to shut your business down, at least the front of house business down temporarily. You were still brewing beer. Was it good for you? Did it get you a chance to get a lot more? Were you guys working around the clock?
I wouldn't say we were working around the clock, but we definitely were keeping up with demand, or at least forecasting that the people of Port Coquitlam have been highly supportive. They've come to our door. They enjoy the beer. They want to buy the beer, and we read that, thankfully, in a timely fashion. And we've been brewing to keep up and make sure that we have those supplies for them.
Well, it's really funny because, generally leading into the summer season, which we're almost in right now, everybody's brewing full tilt and just trying to keep their heads above, their nose right above that line, right? And then now all of a sudden COVID comes in and you think, okay, well, hang on a second, let's put the brakes on this. But that didn't really happen, and thank God it didn't, because, unfortunately, on the business side of things, which is where I come from, right? You're going to look at, who's going to keep going. And you had to pivot well, and I think you guys have definitely done that.
Thank you.
The other thing, though, is, first of all, most newer breweries are kind of challenged when they open because it's a while before they get, their lounge endorsement, which allows you to, increase your capacity or increase the volume that you offer in-house. And now you're back to probably half capacity, and I don't know what your current existing model is, and I'm sure you've got the markings on the floor, and a limited amount of people can enter. What should people know if they're going to head out and check out North Paw? What can you hold, and what are you offering? When are you open?
I think the number one thing you need to know is that we've gone through all the steps to make sure that we make our anyone who wants to come to the brewery as safe as possible, as well as our staff. So we've established we have a plexiglass system. We've got some markings on the floor. We also have, when weather permitting, an auxiliary patio outside, so that people can take advantage of recommendations that outside activities are a good place to be if you need to get out. And we're well participated. So inside we have distanced and measured everything out so that the number of chairs available and seating has been arranged for people to first come, first serve. And then we have our patio set up. And then we have people who come and just actually like to come and sit on the curb. We have a beautiful grass side on the side of the building.
That's right,
where they can come and sit on the grass on a lovely day and enjoy their brew. And
wow, that's progressive. I didn't...
Have you guys... And we've talked about this before too, Joe. Have you seen a change in your growler fill situation, or are people just coming in and buying packaged?
Both, actually. We have people coming in for growler fills and our packaged product. They do differ slightly, so we're picking up on what people are wanting to take home in different packaging. So we're working on making sure that we meet expectations that way.
So if people want to head out to North Paw Brewing, where do they find North Paw in Port Coquitlam?
It's on Shirling Place.
And you can't miss it because when you pull in, because there's the Walmarts around there.
I was going to say,
exactly.
If you know where the Walmart is, you have found us.
Kristie Isaac, head brewer of North Paw Brewing in Port Coquitlam. Pleasure having you on the show. Congrats on the new gig, and keep on keeping on.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.